on this day, run blocking was especially good. Here we're going to see Julian Hill work this motion across the formation. And he's going to get kick out block. It's basically slant blocking. They're going to block one gap over. They're going to release Robert Hunt to the backside to get a seal. Tyreek Hill is actually going to try to work his way to the second level and get a seal on the backside. And then they're just going to block one gap over. The guy who is key on this play is Kendall Lamb. Is going to try to get on this shoulder and then release downfield. And the man who is key here is Liam Eichenberg. Has to hook the nose tackle. And if you notice, the nose tackle is shading his left shoulder. So he has to hook him and wall him off. And since it's a toss play, Raheem Mostert is going to press, and he's going to look for the cutback lane. If the cutback lane is not developed, they're blocking one gap over, so he could just run this out. And he should have 4 yards out here if he's pressing off of Durham Smythe. But the blocking is absolutely perfect on this play. And I want you to watch Liam Eichenberg as he makes this whole thing go. We're going to watch this in slow motion. And there you see it. Look at the hook by Liam Eichenberg. Austin Jackson working one gap over. The cutback lane was there for Raheem Mostert. And he's through, and he does the rest. Now I'm going to show you a sequence here. This is on 3rd and 2. They're essentially in match man, as you can see. When you have this triangle right here, you have trips. Usually what you're going to do is you're going to communicate, and we're going to clean this up. You're going to communicate, and you always have the up man, which is going to be Ketekohu, who's going to take the 2 guy. This is 3. This is the 1. Okay? Up man has to take him and bump. So it's man. And then these guys have to communicate whether they take the inside short zone, or they're carrying the man deep, or they're going to roll up on the corner. So all of that is communicated right here pre-snap. X has his man, and he has him with outside leverage, middle of the field open. You have a robber, and what we're doing here on the pass rush is that we're going to press the B gap with Jerome Baker, and then they're going to run a stunt where you're going to have Sealer try to come inside, get on the shoulder of this guard, and Bradley Chubb is going to stunt inside of him. Pretty good execution, even better play by Xavier Howard as the play develops. We're going to run it in slow motion so you could see how it develops, especially down here with the 2 corners. They communicate, and they actually take the inside flat, and Eli Apple is carrying the outside man deep. And as you can see, Xavier Howard, with middle of field open, still manages to catch up to DJ Chark and make the tackle for a 1-yard gain, getting them off the field. All right, here we're going to show you how the rules on cover 6 can actually come back to bite you. Dolphins are on the right hash. Right? That's where the ball is, on the right hash. This is basically cover 6. 2 deep, or a 4x2. We're not worrying about the rush here. We're worrying about the coverage. So, since we're on the right hash, the rules on this are pretty simple. You bump, and you carry. You come back intermediate, and the safety has the deep hash. On the field side, which is right here, you're going to play this middle of the field open, but you're going to come out to the flat, and you could have a robber trying to take away any crossing route that may come over here. But since this is a 3x1 formation, what they're going to do is they're going to play it a little bit differently. Since it's 3x1, and this is designed to isolate Tyreek Hill on one-on-one coverage. They come out with their rules. They're set with the rules. So what they're going to do, since they're off, they might zone half the field or play half zone cover 6 and then or half quarters. And it could be half quarters just by their disposition. But what Miami has figured out is if your rules say that you're going to bump Tyreek, we can eliminate this man at the line. And if Tyreek gets past the initial bump, which he's liable to do, then there is no safety that can run with him if he's worried about anybody coming over the middle, if they have middle of the field open. So that is the danger of playing middle of the field open cover 6 against the Dolphins, especially when it's 3-by-1 and Tyreek is the one on the outside. Tua recognizes this immediately, and the way he recognizes it, you can see it right here. Who is he looking at? He's looking at the outside corner. What is the outside corner giving up? Well, it's pretty simple. Look at where his feet is. This middle of the field open once again. You could tell by how the guys are lining up. You could tell by the disposition of the safety, who's actually a robber, because he's worried about any mesh point that comes across his face. And Tua's not thinking about this man. He knows this man is beat. Tua's thinking about this man. This who has the sombrero. He is only 10 yards, 12 yards from the line of scrimmage. Tua is banking on Tyreek beating this man deep if they play their coverage correctly. They do not. This is predetermined. This is by alignment. They're defeated by mere alignment and the rules of cover 6. We could run it, and we're going to stop it to see what happens with the safety. See, the safety tries to get deep, but when the ball's released, the safety's just coming off of the hash. He's not going to get there. There is no safety in the league that could catch up to this timing route. And Tyreek is just too fast. If you notice, watch the end of this play. Watch where he catches it. He's going to outrun the safety and the corner. Notice he's already even with the safety, and if he's even, he is leaving. All right, this is my favorite Dolphin play, and we're going to run it in slow motion so you can see it. This is toss crack. What they're going to do here is it's just beautiful to watch when it's in motion. What they're going to do right here is they're going to release linemen down the field, and they're going to expose the end as they're going to crack back on them. And then this toss play is going to go out here. You got to get good outside blocking by your wide receivers as he has to carry the corner deep out. Liam has to get a block quickly and then release to the second level to cut off the linebacker. And then everybody else is blocking one gap over as we're exposing the backside. So we'll run it so you can see it. It's perfectly executed. There's just one slight hitch at the end of this. There goes Cedric Wilson. Now watch the crack. Very nice job by Jalen Waddle. Look at Liam Eichenberg work to the second level, trying to get that cutoff. He actually got the cutoff. Alec Ingold just ran into Raheem Mostert. If not, this thing goes a long way. Now in this play, they're going to have a run action that's going to work across the formation here. And they're going to have some type of run action that's going to be right here, like this, with Tyreek coming back in a motion, and he's going to run a dig over the middle. But I want you to watch this safety and this safety, although you will see them at the end of the play, how especially this guy right here is all out of sorts. Now, why is he all out of sorts? Well, Tua is going to sell the run action by dropping back right-handed, then switching left-handed, and then throwing right down the hash to the dig. Sound difficult? Watch this. And we're running at full speed so you could appreciate it. Here's the run action. Notice how he was right-handed. Now look how far that safety is out of the play. And Tua throws that seed right over the middle. Now this is a complicated run play, but it's beautifully run. It's a power sweep, old-fashioned power sweep. And what you're going to have right here is you're going to have Ingold in motion, coming away from the play, which should condense the formation, which is what you want to do because you want to leverage this run as you're going to bring Julian Hill around as the lead blocker, and you're running this play behind Tua as a power sweep. Now, who's going to hold this edge right here? Well, you're going to have Jalen Waddle once again with the crack back to seal this edge as you're going to release linemen down the field. You're blocking one gap over. So, as always, we're blocking one gap over and we're on the move. We're just bumping and we're getting off to the second level, trying to get a backside seal. Everybody does their job on this play. It's perfectly executed. And it's fun to watch, really, how these guys actually can execute such intricate run plays so easily. And by the way, at this point, Carolina's deciding, you know what? We're going to play kind of shading on an eagle front to try to take away their run game. And if you notice, there's 7 in the box. So they're getting bolder. Doesn't work anyway. Look at that double with Eichenberg and Hunt. Look at Julian Hill kick out his man, and they're 8 yards down the field. All right, this is my favorite play of the day, and I want you to understand what they're trying to accomplish right here. They're going to bring Durham Smythe in motion. This is not even toss crack. This is just straight up toss play or student body. It's a student body toss. It's really old school. Like, you run this thing in high school, in college. Dolphins run it in the NFL, and they run it effectively. And what they're doing right here is bringing Durham Smythe in motion, and he's going to try to get on this shoulder and then release again. So he's going to try to block 2 guys. Now, you're watching Austin Jackson here, right? And what Austin Jackson is going to try to do is get the backside cutoff, which is over here. Think about what they're asking him to do. So they're exposing the scrape linebacker. Who has the scrape linebacker? Well, obviously, the lead blockers, okay, which is Ingold. And then Durham Smythe, who's going to shade off of his shoulder and then peel off. The rest of the offensive line is either releasing or just getting their block and just down blocking. And if I want you to watch at the end of this play how Robbie Chosen has his man one-on-one, and Raheem Mostert is running the play right in the alley. And I want you to watch, it's specifically 2 players. I want you to watch Durham Smythe, and I want you to watch Austin Jackson. Austin Jackson, Durham Smythe, the absolute stars of this play. Look at Durham Smythe. Look at Austin Jackson hit the backside cutoff. Durham Smythe blocks 2 guys and is still on his second man down the field as Robbie Chosen was one-on-one with this guy. Let's watch it again. And this time, just focus on Austin Jackson, how much ground he's going to cover. Then we're going to watch Durham Smythe. Look at Austin Jackson getting the backside cutoff. Saw it? Beautiful. We'll bring it back. Look at Durham Smythe. Get one man off, pass him off, pick up the second man, pick up the scrape linebacker. Durham Smythe blocks a defensive end and blocks a scrape linebacker on one play, creates that toss play, gain of 9 yards. A thing of beauty. My favorite run play of the season. Now you want to see a difficult coverage to discern. This is 3rd and long. So stands to reason you're going to bring out something that might even be a half field coverage or maybe even a quarters, and then maybe zone up part of the field. Since the ball is on the left hash and you have a 3-by-1 formation, this is kind of boilerplate stuff, but if you see pre-snap, the numbers look favorable to Carolina, then you're going to see how maybe it's the Carolina route combination, although it's not. It's the combination of coverages is going to cover the most ground on this play. As they're going to come up and bump while Jerome Baker has the flat responsibility on the running back. So Jerome Baker has the flat responsibility. They're bringing 4. Okay, it is 3rd and long. So Jerome Baker has a flat responsibility. Then you have the short zone right here. You have a corner who is up and bump. It's going to carry him and then drop him off into drop off into a short zone. Sean Elliott has deep half. Holland has deep center. And they're just creating a lot of room right here as they want to rally and tackle. And you're going to see how they create numbers in coverage by playing essentially a split coverage, which is quarter, deep. So it's essentially a hybrid 3 deep, but maybe this is one of those coverages that Vic Fangio was talking about. But pre-snap looks like a regular 2 deep, 4-man under type of coverage, and you could tell, okay, Xavier Howard's going to have his man one-on-one. He's allowing a lot of cushion because remember, it's 3rd and long. But watch as the play is snapped, the ball is snapped, how they get into coverages, and we're going to stop it. Notice how they still have that integrity underneath. So it could be like a box 6, and then you have a single responsibility outside, which is essentially just man. So you could essentially have man, half, quarters. But watch as this play develops as he's at the bottom of his drop. They carry him, and they let him go, and they got him bracketed. So at the end of the drop, and now you already have Bryce Young escape, you got this guy, which is play side wide receiver. You got him bracketed. You got the short zone linebacker carrying everything over the middle. And you got Holland reacting as a robber to the deep crosser. As Xavier Howard and Kader Kohu have the other outside guy bracketed. All middle of the field open. And of course, Jerome Baker's the only guy that has responsibility on the flat. So, once you see it, you start to believe it. This is one of those guessing games, but it's an intricate coverage to try to bracket the 2 outside receivers. So you're bracketing 1 on each side, bracket one, and you're essentially zoning up the middle of the field. Really tricky stuff. Like, this is difficult to pull off, and they did. As Bryce Young has to escape, dumps it off. Jerome Baker is there to clean it up for the tackle. No gain. So how do you defend an offense that needs a big chunk on 3rd down to get a 1st down? Well, you run cloud 6 right at the sticks. And if you're running cloud 6 at the sticks, you have 1 deep, and you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 underneath. You're allowing this whole area under here to be thrown to, and you're just going to rally and tackle since you have 6 across. You're rushing 4. What Jerome Baker's just going to do right here is that he's going to press his B gap to help the rush, and then he's going to just bounce back out. And you're putting a lot of guys in the intermediate zone with 1 guy deep and allowing everything in the flat. This is what you do to an offense and a quarterback that is going to look for the sticks for the 1st down first. And that will help you get your rush home as you're covering the entire intermediate area with cloud coverage right across. Cloud 6, 1 deep. It's a tricky coverage. You got to rally and tackle if they dump it off and they take the check down. But it works perfectly here because it causes some confusion early on for Bryce Young, and that allows enough time to get the rush home. You notice? Look at it. You're in cloud 6 with 1 deep. The flats are open. The dump off are open. It's just not enough time. It was 3rd and 14, and the rush gets there. Very well called, and a good pass rush. Great coverage. Just watch it again. Watch as the safety valves both are open. See, they're both open. It's by design because they're going to rally and tackle. But the intermediate area, the sticks, are completely covered. Very nicely done. We don't have to spend too much time on this because it's really, really simple. This is near ISO. Okay? And it's a daylight run. As you can see, there's a linebacker right here that's supposed to fill, right? But he's going to actually be held because of this man right here. He's keying on Waddle because Waddle could either be running the smoke screen or he has to watch Waddle as Waddle cracks if they're running outside to the field side, or if he releases, he has to impede him down the hash, okay? Because he has a free release. But by merely opening up Waddle at the snap, 54, which is Kamagruger Hill, is going to rush to the hash, and all they're doing is just isolating this block right here. Handoff comes right here. Run action is over here. And Raheem Mostert's just running to daylight as he takes the action near side. It's near side ISO. Really, really well done. Perfectly done. But this only works because of this man right here and the respects he commands and the rules of the defense. You could always sell out, and if it's an RPO, Tua just throws it to the vacated area on a glance route. But they're running a near ISO. Very well done. When I saw this live, I was like, that is slick play calling. Let's watch it. Look at 54. See how he vacates? And there is the ISO run. Daylight run, 6 yards. All right, we're going to watch these two plays. They're run back to back. These plays happen back to back in the game. I want you to watch two people. Brooks and number 40 right here. I want you to watch the first play. Okay? And I'll run it in slow motion so you can pay attention. This is a split inside zone. Look at number 40. Here comes the handoff. Goes to Brooks. Number 40 is going to fill. Good tackle. Gets him up. Tosses him over. Shaking his head. No, you're not running that on me. I got you. Hell no, you're not getting that, right? Now watch this play. Remember number 40. Here he is. He's going to be on the backside pursuit. We're just going to run the play so you could see. Watch number 40. He just got that play on Brooks. Watch what Brooks does to number 40. How about if I throw you into this cornerback here and take out two guys by myself? Yeah, I'll do that. And I'll run over this guy, and I'll spin off of him, and I'm headed downfield. He's out for a few weeks, but they got something in this kid. He's a powerful runner, and no better example than on this